I had given up. By 10:50 p.m. on my 16th birthday, I accepted the fact he had forgotten. I was in my bedroom, the house dark and silent, when my phone finally lit up the nightstand. My heart stopped, then hammered against my ribs. He remembered, but it wasn't a text. It was an Instagram notification. Liam Official just posted a new photo. My thumb shook as I tapped the screen. I was expecting a late-night apology. I was not expecting to see his arm around another girl with a caption that read, "Happy birthday to the real queen." My eyes opened before my alarm. 7 a.m. A rectangle of sunlight was already on my wall. My stomach felt tight, the good kind. 16. The word felt solid. I sat up and reached for my phone on the nightstand. The screen was dark. I tapped it. No notifications. He'll text soon, I thought. He was probably just asleep. I swung my legs out of bed and walked to my desk. The room was cool. I opened the top drawer, pushing aside pencils and old receipts, and pulled out the small black velvet box. I'd hidden it there 3 weeks ago. I clicked it open. The custom guitar pick inside was dark gray, almost black. It had the outline of a sound wave etched into its surface. It was the recording I'd made of him laughing that one time at the park. I bought it last month for no reason. Just because I valued remembering the little things. I snapped the box shut and put it back in the drawer. I patted downstairs. There she is. "The birthday girl," my dad said. My mom was at the stove and the kitchen smelled like maple and butter. She turned around with a plate of pancakes. "Happy 16th, Maya." "Happy birthday, sweetie," they sang. It was awkward and sweet. They gave me my gifts at the table. A new set of charcoal drawing pens, the expensive kind, and a heavy, dark blue weighted blanket. "For the anxiety," Mom said, tapping my arm. "You said you read about them." "I did." "Thank you." I wrapped the blanket around my shoulders. It was heavy. It was nice. I checked my phone. 10:03 a.m., a text from my best friend Sarah. "HBD Maya. We still on for pizza Friday?" A text from my aunt. A post on my mom's Facebook wall. Nothing from Liam. I spent the next 2 hours on the couch, half watching a movie with my dad and scrolling through my phone. I replied to Sarah. I liked my aunt's text. I watched dumb videos of dogs. My leg bounced. 17 p.m. I looked at our last conversation from the night before. Him, night, talk tomorrow. Me, 3, talk tomorrow. My hands felt a little cold. Maybe he was just really busy. Maybe his phone broke, but I could see he was active 1H ago on Instagram. At 2:45 p.m. I couldn't stand the waiting anymore. It felt like a balloon was inflating in my chest, too tight. I opened a new message. My thumbs hovered over the keyboard. I didn't want to sound needy. I didn't want to be annoying. I kept it simple. "Hey, how's your day going?" I hit send. The delivered receipt appeared instantly. I put the phone on my desk, screen up, so I could see it light up. I went back to the couch. I tried to read. I read the same page 4 times. I went to my room. I tried to use the new charcoal pens. I drew an eye, but the shading was all wrong. I erased it so hard the paper tore. 9 p.m., 5 p.m., the sun started to go down. The light in my room turned from yellow to a deep, flat blue. My phone screen stayed dark. At 6:14 p.m. it buzzed. I grabbed it so fast I almost dropped it off the desk. A new text from Liam. "Hey, Sry, super busy day. What's up?" I read the words. Then I read them again. "What's up?" Not happy birthday, not sorry I'm late, not thinking of you, just, "What's up?" The tight balloon in my chest didn't pop. It just deflated. It left a cold, empty feeling. He forgot. He just forgot. I didn't reply. I had no idea what to say. I put the phone down. I went downstairs and ate leftover pancakes for dinner. At 10:50 p.m., I gave up on the day. I washed my face, the water cold against my skin. I brushed my teeth. I got into bed and pulled the new weighted blanket over me. It just felt heavy. I put my phone on the nightstand to charge, face down. I was about to turn off the lamp when the screen lit up, glowing against the wood. A bright white notification. Not a text. The little Instagram logo. Liam Official just posted a new photo. My heart jumped. It was so fast, it almost hurt. He remembered. My thumb fumbled with the phone, smudging the screen. I finally unlocked it, and my finger hit the notification. The app opened. It was a late-night apology. It had to be. A whole post just for me. He was making up for it. The screen flashed white as the feed loaded. Then the photo snapped into view. My whole body went cold. It wasn't me. It was Liam. His arm was around Chloe. They were standing close, shoulder to shoulder, smiling a huge, easy smile. He was wearing his gray hoodie, the one I loved. Chloe was holding up a cup, something with whipped cream, and pointing at the camera. They were outside someone's house. There were string lights in the background, blurred and yellow. It was bright. It looked loud. My room was dark. My room was silent. I saw the little dots at the bottom of the photo. One of 3. A carousel post. My thumb swiped. The second photo was a group of people. Liam and Chloe were in the dead center, making silly faces. He had his hand up, making a peace sign behind her head. My thumb swiped again. The last photo was just Chloe. She was laughing, her head tilted back. It was a little blurry, like the person taking it was moving. Then I read the caption. I read it, but the words didn't make sense. Liam official. Can't believe you're 17. Had to make sure the real birthday queen got her post. HBD Chloe, I read it again, the real birthday queen Chloe. Her birthday was today too. I looked at the timestamp. Posted 1 mem ago. He posted this just now. He was awake. He was on his phone. The super busy day text from 6:14 p.m. flashed in my mind. He wasn't just super busy. He was at her party. He was celebrating her. He had time to take photos, to edit them, to pick the best ones, to write a caption. For her, for me, he had, "What's up?" My stomach twisted. The weighted blanket on my legs felt like it was pinning me to the bed. I couldn't breathe. My throat was tight. I felt dizzy. I stared at the bright, happy photo of him and Chloe. His smile was so wide. I hadn't seen him smile like that in weeks. I looked at the comments. Sarah, J, "Aw, HBD Chloe." Mark P, "Squad. He didn't just forget my birthday. He chose hers. He posted hers, and he forgot mine." I felt hot. My ears were ringing. I couldn't just lie here. I couldn't just let this sit there, on my screen, in my dark room. This was wrong. This was a mistake. He had to explain. My thumb moved, closing Instagram. I opened my contacts. His name was at the top. Liam. My hand was shaking. I pressed the call button. It rang once, twice. On the third ring, I was about to hang up, my face hot with embarrassment. Then, a click. The first thing I heard was noise. Loud music, a thumping bass that made my phone speaker buzz. People were shouting, and someone shrieked with laughter. He was still there. He was still at the party. "Hello?" Liam's voice was loud, straining to be heard. "Maya, everything okay?" My voice came out as a whisper. "Hi." I had to swallow, my throat was so dry. "Liam? Yeah, I'm here. What's wrong? It's super loud, I can barely hear you." "You," I started. My words felt stuck. "You posted." "What?" The music peaked, drowning out his voice. "My post? Yeah, it's Chloe's birthday." "It's crazy here." He sounded so happy. "So casual. It's my birthday," I said. My voice was so small I wasn't sure he heard me. The music in the background suddenly dipped. There was a shuffling sound, then the slam of a door. The loud party noise dropped away, replaced by a dull, throbbing thump-thump-thump of the bass through a wall. "He must have stepped outside. What did you say?" he asked. I took a breath. "It's my birthday, Liam." I said it louder this time. My voice cracked on the last word. "Today. It was my birthday." Silence. I heard him breathe out. Then nothing. Just the distant, muffled beat. I waited. Oh, that was it. Just oh, I waited some more. My hand was gripping the phone so tight my knuckles ached. "Geez, Maya," he finally said. His voice was completely different. The warmth was gone. He sounded tired, annoyed. "I completely forgot. It slipped my mind. I'm sorry. You forgot," I repeated. The words felt flat. "But you remembered Chloe's." "What?" "No, I didn't remember. He sounded defensive. Everyone was posting for her. My whole feed was full of it. The group chat was blowing up all day. I couldn't forget hers. Everyone was posting for her. "So you posted too," I said. My voice was shaking now. I couldn't stop it. "Yeah. Maya, it's not a big deal. It's just an Instagram post. Not a big deal?" The words came out sharp. "You didn't text me all day. You sent me what's up. And then you call her the real birthday queen?" I hated that I had memorized it. I hated that I said it out loud. A loud, frustrated sigh came through the phone. "Look, I said I was sorry. I forgot, okay? People forget things. You're blowing this way out of proportion. Blowing it. Liam, you didn't just forget. You made time for her. You went to her party. You celebrated her publicly. I'm at her party, Maya. I'm here. Of course I posted. It's what you do. You didn't even ask what I was doing," I said. My voice was thick now. "I was just at home, waiting for you to text me." "That's not fair," he snapped. "How was I supposed to know? You're twisting this. Why are you trying to make this about you?" I stopped. My brain just shut down. "Make this about me? It is about me. It's my birthday." And I said I was sorry. "What do you want me to do? You want me to leave?" "I can't. I'm with people." "You want to post? I'll post one for you right now, okay?" "Is that what you want? A stupid post?" "No," I shouted. My voice echoed in my quiet room. I don't want a stupid post. I just wanted you to remember." "Geez, you're just trying to start a fight." "It's late. I'm going back in." "Liam, wait. Look, I'm sorry. Okay? I'll make it up to you. I'll see you at school tomorrow. We can talk then." "Liam," the call ended. The screen went black, showing my own reflection. I sat there in the total silence. The phone was heavy. I replayed his words. "Blowing this out of proportion. Why are you trying to make this about you? It's not a big deal, was it? Was I crazy?" My thumb moved, unlocking the phone. Back to Instagram. The post was still there. Him and Chloe, laughing. My finger tapped on Chloe's name. I shouldn't. I knew I shouldn't. Her profile picture was her in the sun, squinting and smiling. And right at the top, a glowing pink and orange ring was around her picture. She had an active story. It was posted just minutes ago. My thumb moved toward the circle. My thumb pressed the glowing circle. The screen filled with noise. Shaky video, blurry lights. The first clip was short. Just a bunch of hands holding up red plastic cups, clinking them together. "Woo! 17!" someone screamed. My finger tapped the right side of the screen, the next clip. The camera panned across a crowded living room. The thumping bass was the same one I heard through Liam's phone. People were dancing, packed shoulder to shoulder. I didn't recognize the house. Tap another clip. Chloe blowing out candles on a cake. Everyone was singing. It was loud and out of tune. Tap. My breath caught. The camera was focused on Chloe again, but she was talking to someone. In the background, over her shoulder, was the couch, and Liam was on it. He was leaning back, his head tilted. He was talking to some guy I didn't know. He was smiling. Then he laughed. It was a deep, easy laugh, his head tipping back. He looked so happy, so comfortable. He wasn't looking at the camera. He had no idea he was being filmed. He was just there, at her party, laughing on her birthday while I was in my room, in the dark, staring at my phone. My thumb tapped back on the left side of the screen. I watched the clip again. Him. Laughing. "Geez, Maya. It's not a big deal." Tap. Watched it again. "Why are you trying to make this about you?" Tap. Again. The guy next to him said something, and Liam nodded, still smiling. "I'm with people. I can't leave." I watched it until the glowing bar at the top, the one showing the clip's progress, was just a blur in my mind. I felt sick. He wasn't just at her party. He was part of it. He was happy to be there. He wasn't thinking about me. He wasn't sitting in a corner, feeling bad that he'd forgotten. He wasn't distracted. He was present, for her. My day played back in my head. My dad singing. The new expensive pens. The torn paper where I'd tried to draw. The silence of the house. The hours spent staring at my dark phone screen. The "what's up" text I remembered last month. I'd been really proud of a drawing I finished for the school art show. I sent him a picture of it. His reply, an hour later, "Cool, just cool." I remembered 2 weeks ago we were supposed to see a movie. He canceled at the last minute. He texted, "So tired, just gonna crash." Later that night, I saw a post from his friend Mark. Liam was in the background on his couch, headset on, yelling at a video game. He wasn't too tired. He just didn't want to go out with me. I exited the story. I went back to his post. The picture of him and Chloe, his arm around her, her name in his caption. The real birthday queen. I felt small. I felt like I was fading. It was like I was a background character in my own life. I was the person he dismissed. The person he'd make it up to later. I was the afterthought. I stared at the phone. It was 1:15 a.m. My room was cold. He was probably home by now. He was probably asleep. He wasn't lying awake, replaying our phone call. He wasn't staring at a picture. He'd see me tomorrow. He said it. "We can talk then. I had to go to school." I had to walk past the lockers. I had to see him, and I just knew, I would have to see her too. I woke up before my alarm, but this time the feeling was just heavy. My eyes were gritty and dry. I hadn't slept. I'd just watched the clock change from 3 a.m. to 4 a.m., then 5 now. I pulled on a hoodie and jeans. I didn't look in the mirror. I didn't want to see my face. The house was quiet when I left. The bus ride was too loud. I kept my headphones in, but I didn't play any music. The silence in my ears was better than the sound of people talking. When I got to school, the main hallway was buzzing. The high, sharp sound of the first bell hadn't rung yet. Lockers slammed shut. People yelled to each other from across the hall. I kept my head down, my hoodie pulled up. I felt like everyone was looking at me. I felt like they all knew. I didn't see him at our usual spot by the water fountain. My chest felt tight. I just wanted this over with. I needed to see his face, to hear him explain. The phone call felt unreal. Maybe in the light of day he'd be different. Maybe he'd be sorry. I walked toward the 300 wing, where his locker was. I heard his laugh before I saw him. It was that same laugh. The one from the video, loud and easy and real. It cut right through the noise of the hallway. My feet slowed down. I stopped, just before the corner. My heart was pounding, a dull, heavy thump against my ribs. I took a breath and stepped around, and there he was. He was leaning against the bank of blue metal lockers. Chloe was standing right in front of him, so close her shoulder was almost touching his chest. They were both huddled over his phone, which he was holding up. Wait, play that part back," Chloe said. She was smiling, her voice bright. She touched the screen with her own finger. "The part where he almost falls." Liam was smiling too. The same wide, relaxed smile from his post. He looked rested. He looked happy. He didn't look like a guy who'd had a huge fight with his girlfriend last night. He didn't look sorry at all. He was just fine. I stood there for a second. Maybe 2. I couldn't move. My feet were frozen to the tile floor. I was just watching them. Liam said something low, and Chloe laughed again. A high sound that made my ears ring. I must have moved or made a sound. Because Liam's eyes flicked up. He saw me. The smile didn't fade. It dropped. It vanished. Instantly, his whole body tensed. He straightened up, putting a few inches of space between himself and Chloe. His face went flat. His eyes, which had been bright, turned cold and annoyed. "Maya," he said. His voice was low, not a greeting, just a statement. Chloe looked over her shoulder at me. Her smile stayed, but it looked fixed. She looked me up and down, from my messy hair to my old sneakers. Then she looked back at Liam. "Liam," I said. My voice was shaky. I hated it. Can we talk? About last night, Liam sighed. He ran a hand through his hair. He glanced at Chloe, who was watching us, her arms crossed, tapping her foot. She didn't move. She didn't walk away. She just waited. Maya, Liam said. He didn't even lower his voice. People were walking past us. Can this wait? We're busy, the word hit me. They were watching a video. Busy? I asked. Liam, I really need to talk to you. My voice felt thick. I just wanted him to look at me. Really look at me. He looked at me, but it was like he was looking at a problem. He looked impatient. Chloe shifted her weight. Liam, we gonna be late, she said to him. Not to me. To him. He nodded, his eyes still on me. Look, I told you we'd talk later, he said. His voice was hard. I'm in the middle of something, just later, okay? He didn't wait for me to answer. He turned away from me. He physically turned his back to me. He held the phone back up for Chloe. Sorry about that, he muttered, loud enough for me to hear. He said it to her. So that part where he trips, I was still standing there. 3 feet away, he had turned his back. He had dismissed me. He had chosen. I stood there. My feet felt like they were stuck to the floor. I watched his back. He was still angled toward Chloe, his shoulders blocking me completely. He was showing her the phone again. He was just continuing. A group of kids pushed past me, laughing and shoving each other. One of them bumped my shoulder. I didn't feel it. I turned around. My body felt very heavy. I walked away. I didn't run. I didn't look back to see if he would stop me. I knew he wouldn't. I walked down the hall. The sound of lockers slamming and people yelling felt distant, like it was happening underwater. I reached the main doors. I pushed the long metal bar, the door hissed open, and I stepped out. It clicked shut behind me. The sound of the lock catching was loud in the sudden quiet. I was outside. The morning air was cold. It bit at my cheeks. I didn't go to my first period class. I just kept walking. I crossed the parking lot, my old sneakers crunching on the gravel. I reached the sidewalk. We're busy. The 2 words played in my head over and over. He didn't say, give me a minute. He didn't say, I'm sorry. He didn't look guilty. He looked annoyed. He looked at me like I was bothering him, and then he turned his back. It wasn't just that he forgot my birthday. It wasn't just the Instagram post or the party. It was this. It was the look on his face. It was the total, casual dismissal. I felt cold. Not from the wind. It was a coldness inside my chest. A deep, empty, hollow feeling. I wasn't angry. I wasn't even crying. I was just empty. All night I had been waiting. Waiting for a text. Waiting for an apology. Waiting for him to see me, to see how much he had hurt me. He saw me. He looked right at me. And he chose to turn away. I realized, as I turned the corner onto my street, that I couldn't make him care. He just didn't. My house was quiet and dark. My parents' cars were gone. I fumbled with my key. The lock clicked. I stepped inside and shut the front door, leaning my head against the wood. The silence was a relief. I went up to my room. I dropped my backpack on the floor. It made a loud thud. I sat on the edge of my bed. The weighted blanket was still pooled at the end of it. I pulled my phone from my pocket. The screen was dark. No new notifications. No, hey, where did you go? Text. No, I'm sorry, of course not. He was busy. My thumb hovered over the green messages icon. I thought about all the things I could write. A long, angry paragraph listing every single thing. A sad text telling him how much he'd broken my heart. But what was the point? He wouldn't read it. Or he'd just reply, "Geez, Maya." My thumb moved away. It tapped the Instagram icon. I didn't go to his profile. I didn't go to Chloe's story. I tapped the little circle in the bottom right corner. My profile, my feed loaded. My drawings. A picture of the sky from last week. A selfie with Sarah, her face covered in pizza sauce. I scrolled. My thumb pushed the pictures up one by one. I scrolled past my art show piece. Past Halloween. Past the first day of school. Back into the summer. I stopped. There it was. The only official photo of us I had ever posted. It was from the town fair 4 months ago. Liam's arm was wrapped tight around my shoulder. I was leaning my head against his chest. He was smiling at the camera, a real wide smile. I was smiling too. I looked so happy. My eyes were bright. I stared at the picture for a long time. I stared at the girl in the photo. She'd felt so safe that day. That boy in the picture wasn't the boy at the locker, and I wasn't that girl anymore. My thumb moved to the top right of the post, to the 3 small dots. I pressed them. A white menu slid up from the bottom. Archive, turn off commenting, edit, and at the very bottom, in red letters, delete. I pressed the word. A small box popped up in the middle of the screen. Delete post? You can restore this post from recently deleted. My hand wasn't shaking. I pressed the blue delete button. The screen flickered. The post vanished. The post was gone. My feed was just my feed. The picture of Sarah, the sky, my drawings. It looked emptier. I locked the phone and set it, screen down, on my bed. I stood up. The silence of my room was total. I could hear the click, click, click of the heater vent, pushing out warm air. I could hear the hum of the refrigerator from all the way downstairs. I had never noticed it before. I walked to my desk. My new charcoal pens were still sitting in their box, right where I left them yesterday morning. It felt like a lifetime ago. I sat down. The wooden chair creaked. I picked up the box. The cardboard was smooth and solid. I lifted the lid. The pens were lined up in a perfect dark row. They looked expensive. They smelled like dust and burnt wood. I took one out, a medium grade 4B. The wood was unpainted, and the charcoal core was thick and black. It felt rough but steady in my fingers. I pulled my sketchbook from my backpack. The spiral binding made a zipping sound as I dropped it on the desk. I opened it to a fresh blank page. The paper was clean, white, and a little textured. It had tiny fibers. I stared at it. My mind was just as blank as the page. I didn't know what to draw. I thought about drawing an eye, like I tried yesterday, but the memory of the torn paper made my stomach twist. I thought about yesterday morning. Waking up, the feeling in my stomach, the good kind, the pancakes, the smell of maple and butter, my dad singing. It all felt like it happened to someone else. I touched the charcoal pen to the paper. I just held it there, the black tip resting on the white page. I couldn't make a mark. My hand felt too heavy. My phone buzzed on the bed. The sound was sharp in the quiet room. It vibrated hard against the mattress, a low vibrating bzzzt. I flinched, my hand pulling back from the paper. I didn't move. I just looked at the phone, a dark rectangle on my blue comforter. It buzzed again. Bzzzt, a second text. My heart was pounding. That familiar, stupid, hopeful pound. A heavy, sick thump, thump, thump against my ribs. Is he sorry? Did he finally realize? Did he find out I left? I stood up. My legs felt shaky. I walked the 3 steps to my bed and picked up the phone. The screen was bright. 2 new messages. From Liam. I tapped the notification. The first one, sent at 10:32 a.m. Hey, why'd you delete our pic? That was it, not, where are you? Not, are you okay? Not, I'm sorry, I was a jerk. He had noticed the picture was gone. He was on Instagram. He wasn't in class. He was looking at my profile. He was worried about the picture. The second text, sent a minute later. Maya? I stared at the 2 messages. I read them over and over. Why'd you delete our pic? He wasn't asking why I was upset. He wasn't asking why I left school. He was asking why his presence was gone from my page. As I watched, the 3 little gray dots appeared at the bottom of the screen. He was typing. The dots danced. They stopped. They vanished. He'd deleted whatever he was writing. They appeared again. He was writing a long message. He was thinking. He was composing something. I watched the dots. They bounced and stopped again. He was hesitating. I thought of all the hours I had spent staring at that exact spot on my screen, waiting for those dots to appear, waiting for them to turn into words, waiting for him to text me back, waiting for him to remember me, waiting for him to tell me he was tired. Waiting for him to say, cool, waiting for him to say, what's up, waiting. I was always waiting. He was still typing, or deleting, or thinking, trying to find the right words to make this okay, to make me stop being crazy. I slid my thumb up from the bottom of the screen. I went to settings. My hand was perfectly steady. I tapped on focus. I pressed the Do Not Disturb button. The little crescent moon icon appeared at the top of my screen. I went back to the text message. The 3 dots were still going. I pressed the power button on the side of the phone. The screen went black. I walked back to my desk. I put the phone on the very corner, screen down, next to a stack of old textbooks. I couldn't hear it. I couldn't see it. I sat down. The silence in the room was different now. It wasn't empty. It was my silence. I picked up the charcoal pen. I looked at the blank white page. I thought about the hollow feeling in my chest. The coldness. The feeling of being invisible. I touched the charcoal to the paper. This time I pressed down. I made a dark, rough line. I drew another line next to it. And another. I started to shade, moving the pen back and forth, the sound a soft, scratchy shh on the paper. I smudged the charcoal with my thumb. The gray dust felt gritty on my skin. I didn't know what I was drawing. Maybe it was just a shadow. Maybe it was the empty space at the locker after he turned his back. It didn't matter. My hand moved. I drew another line. And another. I was alone. The room was quiet, and I was not waiting.